Blessings. Welcome in. Welcome all. I hope everyone is doing well. It's been a while. Taking time out to reevaluate and transition into new ways of being, new revelations, new identities. I suppose my musings today, and I'm just going to share a little bit about my experience as of late, is being human and being okay with being human and enjoying being human. As you can see, it feels good. It feels right. It brings a sense of peace and joy. I found that through my evolution, I don't even want to say spiritual awakening, because if you want to look at things and how you define what is spiritual, it's evolution at the end of the day. However you want to define it. You know, we can sit here and name and label, and I'm a starseed, I'm this, I'm that, I'm a galactic, I'm a sage, I'm a guru, yada, yada, yada. And I say these things lightly, not to sit as a judgmental, but I'm making light of the perspective. When you come from the source and you return to your source, the labels, the definitions, the identities, they don't matter. They don't matter, because you know you are unified. You are the spark of creation at the end of the day. We don't need to live in a hierarchical system, construct, architecture anymore. So where I've been at, because I had, shit was just getting very wonky and a little absurd. And I was just like, you know what? I'm stepping myself out. I'm not playing this game anymore. And it gave me opportunities to really reflect, to go even deeper into myself and ask really hard questions. I had worked so hard to build a spiritual foundation that had served me up into this point thus far. But it lost the spark. It wasn't serving me anymore. I wasn't finding joy. I was like, what am I seeking? Many of us step onto this path because we're wishing to delve the mysteries, to connect with something that is beyond ourselves, which further connects us deeper and more intrinsically to a universal consciousness. In order to bring us to a state of unification with the all, with the oneness, and all that is, and that all will ever be. And I'm not saying this to say that I'm enlightened. I'm still evolving. I'm still growing every day. And the more that I think I know, I realize that I don't know. But what I do know is that through the spiritual journey, we shed constantly and release and take on and release and take on perspectives, ideas, beliefs, trying to seek and find our truth in how we relate within the all as an individualized being. And for me, it got to a point where it's like I was confident in my knowing and my connection to my source and my alignment. that the seeking wasn't fulfilling me anymore. The seeking wasn't fulfilling me anymore. The striving, the thriving, busting my ass, transmuting, healing, playing in collective storylines, watching, observing, and I had to take a step back even further as the observer, as the watcher, and ask myself, what is really going on? And I started to see, we always speak about the conditioning as children, the social conditioning, the social norms, the constructs, the belief systems, the dogma, the indoctrination, all of it. They are systems and structures in place to keep us capped from reaching our highest potential. Yet I was seeing more and more within the spiritual community, more of these caps, more of these rules, more of these constructs, more of these layers, and it's like fucking ping-ponging, trying to break through all this shit. Stop placing caps on ourselves. And it was just like, I'm like, I don't even know how to explain this, because this is going to be very controversial and very provocative. But it was like, what if even the spiritual idea and concept of ascension is an illusion in itself? What if we're all playing a fucking game within a game within a game? But we sit here and we claim that we're awakened, that we're enlightened, that we know more. But do we really? How many people out there are enjoying their journey? How many people are really utilizing the skills and abilities and the tools that the universe provides for us in order to live out our days and live life? I found that I was in this spiritual discipline that I created and boxed myself in. And I wasn't living life anymore. And then I had to look back and look over the years and be like, if I want to take it back down to a human level and the mundane, what do I like? What do I enjoy? Besides my spiritual practice. Can I have normal conversations with people and connect with normal people? No, I couldn't anymore. And it's this seeking this beyond self for greater meaning and connection with something that is beyond, in that divinity, that state, but bringing it and anchoring it in our realities. And too many people want to stay up here and play in the ethers and play in the higher realms. And I'm going to use this analogy, this illustration. If you want to look at your drizzle, your tree of life, okay, which connects the three worlds, the upper, the middle, and the lower. Many people want to play in the branches. They want to stay up here in the higher realm. They don't want to be in the middle world. They don't want to live in 3D. They don't want to live in the material. We relinquish all of materialism, which is, yes, a necessary part of the process. But then there's many, they don't even want to go to the underworld. They're frightened. They're like, nope, I'm not even going there. But there's so many gifts. And I've tried to explain that in many videos prior. That's where you reclaim your power, your empowerment. You reclaim aspects of self that you've denied, you've hidden, you've shamed, you've bullied. Other people have, all of it. It's where you go for soul retrieval. But if you want to go back to the tree, if you're playing up in the branches and you're not down watering the roots, being deeply connected within the earth, which is material, which is physicality, and you're denying that, your tree is being deprived and eventually will wither and die. This is where balance and alignment comes in. Learning to ascend and descend within your structure, within your form, within your realms, within your reality. It's like riding an elevator and going up. And I'm taking this knowledge and I'm going to bring it here. And I'm going to work it and unify it within my everyday world. And I'm going to infuse it. And the same goes for the underworld. So all these things were coming up for me. And I had to take a step back from anything that was spiritual or considered and metaphysical. It wasn't feeding my soul. And I'm looking at it. Yes, I can have all this knowledge. Yes, I can have all this wisdom. I can have these psychic gifts. I can have all these abilities. Whatever. But I'm here now in physical form. I'm still human. I'm still in a vessel. And where do I want to go? What do I want to create? What do I want to experience within this now moment? Because spirituality was not feeding my soul anymore. And I had to take really deep looks at those things. What's important to me? What holds value? What do I need in my life to feel like I can thrive, that I can flourish, that I can grow, that I have inspiration, that I have creativity? And that is being within the human domain. Family, friends, experiences, going off and exploring the world with other people, having a family dinner, sitting down, having normal conversations. Even though it gives you the opportunity to connect even much deeper with those people that you're interacting with. Sometimes it's like we create more constructs in these structures and these systems, and I was just recognizing like there are more ways of boxing us in, more ways for us to create a hierarchical structure. Like for me personally, I'm not going to say I'm enlightened, but I will say that I reconnected with my divine source, and I carry that with me every day. And I see the divine in everything and everyone. I see it all as sacred. And that's what our ancestors did. That's what the ancients is honoring and respecting everything we do within this now moment when we walk and journey this physicality. Is seeing the beauty within it all. Even the things that you don't like. And it's honoring and saying, I see you. Because you're still a soul like me. And we all still come from the same source. So how can I be more compassionate? How can I be more loving? Yet be more loving and kind to myself? And recognizing where I've deprived myself of the physicality of being. And many of us lose that. Knowing what it's like to be held by another. Or a pat on the shoulder. Or to have a random conversation. Or a small experience with another. through a kind act. Enjoying sitting watching a movie. Listening to music. Listening to the wind. And just sitting and sharing that experience with another. Friend, family, children, whatever. For me, this time out has really even shown me more what I value. What is important to me? What builds a strong foundation? What grounds and roots me in this reality instead of escaping the reality in which I live? Playing off in the ethers is escaping the reality. If you're not fully anchored here. Okay? So, yeah, that's just my musing right now. I'm in a totally different place, new mindset, new way of being, new, very exploratory. But I recognize within the past years and the belief systems and the things that, even though I've had a very individualized path, I was really questioning many of these spiritual ideas and things like that, and how there are just as much constructs as what we perceive to be separated, and that's the point. We keep separating to make something better or good or evil or not right, and it's like, when you find your source, you don't see separation anymore. You see yourself in everything that you encounter. Good, bad, or indifferent. And you honor it and you respect it. And you take the gems that are offered to you and you carry that forward. So yeah, things are different, and my focus right now is living life to the fullest. Because looking back, although I gained a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom, healed a lot of things of my previous life, this life, but it helped me build my foundation going forward in what I'm choosing to create, where I want to go, what I want in my life, what holds meaning, what holds value, what brings me joy and inspiration, what makes me feel supported, what makes me feel loved, not just by invisible entities and ideologies. Because at the end of the day, I'm still here. I'm still in physical form. In theory, it's great. And yes, you have amazing experiences. But they're very fleeting. So it's taking more of a practical approach and applying everything thus far. So that's my musings. That's my ramble. That sense of just, it's like it's a transitory state, moving beyond what you knew before. And that's the beauty of the evolution. And releasing all those belief systems that you thought, yes, they served you. Yes, they benefited you. But when you find that you're no longer thriving, it's not feeding your soul, that's reevaluation time. And looking into finding greater meaning and accepting and appreciating that the human that you are. We're not here to escape being human. We're here to evolve the human. So I send you all off with much love and many blessings on your journeys forward. And ask yourself, what does it mean to live? What is life? What is life for you? And follow that. Love you all.